Welcome back everyone. In my last video you saw the first trade of my 20 pip challenge. In this video we're going to see if I made it to the next level of £7.80. So without further ado, let's head on over to the laptop to find out more. Just to recap, at the end of the first trade I had made £6 profit. I should have looked to make £9, but check out the link above to the previous video for more information on that. So as you can see from the screen, this is the spreadsheet that we're basically working towards. In my last trade, I risked 95% of the balance. I should have made £9, but I actually made £6. So my balance at the beginning of trade 2 was £26, as you can see here. I said that I wanted to go back down to the original plan of 30% risk, which means that I should be looking to make £7.80. So let's head on over to the laptop and see what happened. So as you can see, this is another first round match. We've got Alison van Uytvanck and Emma Raducanu. And for those of you who have been following tennis, you'll know with Emma Raducanu, she gives you a chance in her matches. Anyways, this is the second trade of the challenge, and as you can see on my screen, it's showing that my balance is currently £18 and a penny. Now guys, you will notice that my balance, will vary from the videos, and it's because I am in some instances having more than one trade go at the same time, but I'm keeping it all within my overall bank balance of £20. So as we go, I'll explain what the value on the bank balance is, but just note that this is the second trade. My starting bank balance before I went into this was £26. As you can see on my screen, I've got a lay bet in there, it's not fully matched, and so the difference between that 26 and the 8, as you can see, which is what has been matched, is why my bank balance is the way it is at the moment. But essentially, if you watch the last video, you'll know that I'm trying to achieve £7.80 profit here. So I'm, as you can see, my liability is £8. It's not always going to be the case that you're going to get your liability down to the exact sort of figure that you need. So like in my instance, I'm trying to make £7.80 profit, which means my liability should be £7.80. I couldn't be asked to try and figure out what £7.80 liability would have been, so I've just gone in with an £8 stake, as you can see. So I'm actually attempting to stick to the challenge and stick to the minimum liability amount, so 30% liability. You can clearly see on the screen though that with me doing that, the most I've been able to do is secure a £1.76 free bet. So what I've basically done is I've laid in for £8 and then I've backed out for £8. I don't think you can see it because it's on the open bets tab, but that's what I've done. And if you look at my balance now, you can see it's gone back to £26, which just is another reflection of the fact that I've backed out and gotten that matched. So this is how I've entered the trade today. I've come in on a lay, as you can see, and then I've backed out. This was a little bit of a confirmation for me. I was just testing the water, just getting a feel. In real life, the match was, she was struggling on serve. She's gotten a break here, but she was struggling on serve. I'm going to insert a picture of the graph here to show you what the price movement looked like at the time I completed this first trade that you're looking at on the screen. So just going to skip forward a little bit now. You can see Raducanu's got a set point, and essentially we've got some profit here. I'm not looking to do anything at this point. I just want to see what's going to happen. Is Van Uytvanck going to come back, or is Raducanu going to hold out for the set? I feel that the odds were moving, they were jumping too much here, and also in this first trade I've done, I've realized that I'm not going to be able to achieve the level that I want with only £7.80 liability. in order for me to have done something like that, I would have had to lay really low and backed really high, or done a reverse of that. So meaning back in when it's high now, say I could have backed it at 1.42, but the problem with that is you're going to use a lot of liability backing in at 1.42, even if the idea is to wait for it to drop down to 1.22 or 1.12. You're still going to require more than the bank balance to be able to complete a trade like that. So in a lot of instances, it is going to be a case of laying low, especially with a £20 bank, with a view to back in high, as opposed to back in first and then lay in. So leave a comment down below if you know what I mean, or if you would want to discuss that more, have more questions on that. Again, just going to skip through now because I want to show you essentially what happens. So Raducanu does take the first set, as you can see here. Now I've got an unmatched bet in and around 1.43. I'm thinking about using that as an entry point. That being said, you can see on the screen at the moment that the current odds are at 1.32. So I haven't put a stake in on that. I feel as though I need a little bit more. I feel like I can get better than the 1.3. So what I've actually tried to do is get in at 1.27 at the beginning of the first set. So I've put that in. It's unmatched. I've done £50, £50 stake, excuse me, which would have given me £13.50 liability. So if we think back to the spreadsheet, we're trying to achieve £7.80 profit from this trade, and ideally we don't really want to use any more than £7.80 liability. Because I managed to build up that £1 odd with that little bit of a trade I did in the first set, it means that now I'm trying to do a lay bet of £50 stake, which would mean my liability is £13.50. In reality, my liability is only £11.74 because I had that extra built up from the trade that I'd done earlier on. So I was really happy with this, and as you can see, the odds are moving in the opposite direction. Van Uytvanck is about to hold, she's got a point to hold the first game of the first set, and it's given me £7.12, which is, technically speaking, approaching, you know, the what I was looking to make, the £7.80. But as you know, the strategy relies on you know, having at least 20 pips movement. So if I've laid it at 1.27, I'm looking to exit this at least around 1.47. That would be my 20 clicks. That being said, I did run some calculations, and had I tried to exit at 1.47, I would not have made the £7.80, I don't think, that I was looking to make. So just scuttling forward, what's actually happened is I have worked it out that I actually need to go up 40 clicks in order to make what I'm looking for. So level 2, trade 2, in order for me to make what it is that I'm looking for, I actually need to hit 40 clicks in the opposite direction. I think if you saw my first trade that I released, I explained that at the time of that particular match I was looking at, I needed 50 clicks to get my 1-to-1. So this is, is it really important that before you enter the trade, you have a really good understanding as to what it is that you are trying to do from the trade before you've even entered it. Essentially, I've spent a lot of time learning that. A lot of mistakes have been made to learn that very principle. So if there's one thing you take away from this video, if you haven't already gotten to that point of understanding, try to take away from it that before you put any of your money on the table, know exactly what it is you're trying to do with that. Now, as you can see on the screen, I have finally worked out the amount that I need to hedge over with my exit trade, and I've put it in at 1.68. So that's 34 pips higher than my entry point. So I've gone in with a £37.80 stake, and when that gets matched, it will equal out a profit across both players nicely for me. So now it's literally just a case of waiting for this to take shape, So gonna skip forward to save you all from just watching the screen. I mean, some of you may be listening. Do let me know, actually, guys. How are you consuming the information from this channel? Are you listening to it, or are you watching it, or are you doing both? Let me know. So anyways, as we can see, Van Uytvanck is holding serve, and sort of the pressure is coming back on Raducanu, because sometimes she can be a bit shaky on her serve. But essentially, you'll see that the odds are starting to drift on Raducanu because Van Uytvanck is managing to hold her serve. Scuttling forward now, she's taken the first point against Raducanu's serve, and again you can see it's made the odds shoot up to the 1.6s, and I'm only waiting for 1.68, so I'm sure you can imagine what will happen next. We'll let it play out and you'll get to see. But essentially, again, this really hasn't taken me very long at all to get to this point, and not only have I exceeded what it was that I was trying to make, which was the £7.80, I've, as you can see here, managed to get matched at 1.74. Wasn't even 1.68, it was 1.74, which is £12 on Van Uytvanck and 13 on Raducanu. I think you'll see me cash out in just a moment. But the point I'm making is it really didn't take me that long to get it, because I knew what it was that I was looking for. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on level number 2. Some of you have put in the comments that you'll also be taking the challenge as well. So please do let me know how you've fared over the last couple of days. I'd really be interested to know as well. And I will see you on level number 3 very shortly. Bye for now.